Activision, we gotta talk. I know I'm not really helping anything by just continually bringing up the fact that this exists. But Call of Duty Vanguard exists, guys. It exists, and now I want a free copy of the game. From some Twitter giveaway. I forgot who was giving it away, but someone was giving away a copy of the game, and I won. Now I'm not gonna say no to a free game. I told myself, don't play, just don't bother, don't bother, don't bother, just don't touch it. It's free, a free game. It's a free game, but like, don't touch it. Give the code to someone else. I made the mistake of putting the code in, and I played the game. I know I've just disappointed a lot of people saying that out loud, but I played the game. Me getting the game for free is honestly about where all the good part ends. Because boy, is the game actually worse than people make it out to be. I don't know how the hell people describe the game and how they do it. Because it's understatement of the damn century how bad the game is. I'll start with the basics. The campaign. If Black Ops 4 had a campaign, this is what the campaign would look like. Honestly, that's how the campaign makes me feel. It makes me feel like it should have been Black Ops 4's campaign. At least there would have been a little bit more of an excuse for why it was that bad. No, the story is mediocre to lower tier. If you don't know me, I like a good story along with good gameplay, which is a big reason why I hated Borderlands 3. The story was awful and the gameplay was just mid at best. Fight me. Um, the campaign of Vanguard, the story was bad, the gameplay was just as bad, so I guess it kind of, worked together perfectly. Basically, in the beginning of the game, you're like on like this train that's supposed to be like a stealth mission, but it doesn't last as a stealth mission for very long, as you come to realize very quickly. It's stealthing that mission is just ridiculously impossible at that point. I'm actually pretty sure it's scripted. But anyway, so you go through this little train part, and then all of a sudden you're going to this submarine station, dock station, whatever you call it. It's the map subpens in multiplayer for those of you that play multiplayer and haven't played the campaign. So yeah, that's a campaign map. You go in there and you're locating this something or other, and you end up getting caught, and then you die. Yeah, wow. And then the rest of your team gets thrown into prison, and the entire campaign is just the origin story of these characters. And it's just like, I don't give a fuck about the origin story. I care about the actions happening right now. Where literally the entire action is just these characters being interrogated and them telling their story to their interrogator, who's a Nazi. Which, by the way, the main this game pretty much takes place like right after, like, the war is pretty much ending at this point. Hitler just basically just blew his damn brains out. The war's pretty much over at this point. But there's this guy Freisinger or whatever his name is trying to basically try to continue the war, and he basically becomes, Hitler 2.0 for all of about a couple hours. And it more or less plays into that theory where, oh, the remaining Nazis, they escaped through these tunnels in this airport, and you know, if you know the conspiracy theory, for those who don't know, look it up. But basically the game is just that conspiracy theory put into a Call of Duty game, and it's so bad. A lot of the characters are just super unlikable. Again, the gameplay is just terrible. Like, it's just really bad. The part of the game that irked me the most was, there's this one mission where you play as Polina Petrova, right? And the Russian chick that literally everyone has a crush on. Because, everyone has a crush on the Russian chick in any game. Or just anything in that matter. But anyways, you play as her, and there's this boss battle where there's this one guy, Steiner. No, not Steiner from Black Ops 1. Oh, that'd be hilarious as hell. Um, but you go basically are in this room, and all you have is a knife. He has a shotgun with incendiary shells. Now, this mission basically forces you to use the takedown mechanic to kill him. You can't run at him and knife him, which, in real life, would only make sense. He's right in front of you. Go for the knife. Even though he does have a shotgun. But no, it's Call of Duty. You have to play into the animations and what they want you to do. You have to basically loop around him, and if you're not wearing like a good pair of headphones like I am, or just headphones that are able to soundboard the motherfucker, you're left at a severe disadvantage because you basically have to go through trial and error. I went through that mission and I was on that part of that mission for maybe 20 minutes. I was only on regular difficulty, by the way. Yeah, the mission was that part of the mission was that bad. It just and there's just things called Jaeger mortars, which are basically like those armored dudes in Cold War that just run at you with the armor on their heads and whatnot, and just they're so stupid. But they in that mission they have snipers, and if you have to use the mechanic again because the game wants you to use the mechanics, so make them look like they're useful. You have to use this mechanic where Polina basically takes out a knife that simulates like the glare on a sniper scope, so they shoot at the glare, and then you have to peek out and boom, and then shoot them. It's stupid. In real life, a real sniper is just gonna keep their distance and then shoot the motherfucker. Hide and then shoot. But no, these guys know where you are at all times, even though, you can like hide behind walls and be like as sneaky as possible, but they know where you are at all times. And don't even think about running up to them, because then they'll pull out a shotgun and they'll like one shot you. It's so annoying. The game basically tries to force you to play that they want you to play instead of, being a little bit more creative like some of the other CODs used to be able to do. You used to be able to, find different ways to get to the objective that you were supposed to do. Whereas Vanguard just basically tells you, here's how you have to play the game. Play it this way or you're not allowed to progress any further. It's ridiculous. Now, on the flip side, one of my favorite missions was the mission, I believe his name is Wade or something like that, the pilot guy, where you have to basically make your way through this island and you have to be as stealth as possible. That was one of my favorite missions in the game. And I've heard a lot of people don't like that mission, but personally, I thought that mission was kind of cool. It actually probably was the only genuine challenge throughout the entire game was trying to be stealth in that part. I actually got the achievement for stealthing that entire part, which is kind of nice. Um, yeah, I really liked that mission. That mission was pretty good. But the rest of the campaign was just again, it went from mediocre to bad, and the end of the campaign was just really bad as well because it's like the very last mission you're trying to kill this fry senior guy, and it's like you're at one point you are basically like staring right at him, and you think okay, go ahead and kill him. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, but you get this little notification. Oh, you need him alive. Try again. The whole point is to kill him, but no, it's because the game wants you to chase him so you can go through this cutscene where he gets burned alive. Which, I mean, okay, to be fair, it's a pretty hilarious cutscene. You pull in a stabs the barrel of the oil and fucking lights a cigarette and then lights him on fire, and then Arthur lights him on fire. You know, that's kind of a funny little cutscene. But again, just give us the satisfaction being able to blow the bad guy's brains out. I mean, in Black Ops 1, what's his name? I forget. It's been so long since I've beaten the Black Ops 1 campaign. You basically get, the satisfaction of choking the guy and, drowning him underwater. But, like, you don't get to, like, kill the bad guy. And, like, even in Modern Warfare, you know, you have to go ahead and, you even get to, like, pick all the way down to, like, the last line, the last badass line you say before you kill the main antagonist. But in this game, it's just like, no, you have to wait, wait, and wait, and then let's play the cutscene where, the game kills the guy instead of giving you the satisfaction. You get no satisfaction whatsoever from pretty much anything in the campaign. And I'm just saying, your game is bad when one of your achievements is literally for watching the entire credits. Yes, there's an achievement on Xbox, at least. It's a rare achievement for watching the credits. I wish I was joking, but that is an achievement in the game. I forgot how much gamer score it is. I forgot what the name of it was, but there's an achievement for watching the credits. You're welcome. For those of you that did not have that achievement, and your little achievement hunters, there you go. Go watch the credits on Vanguard. Easy achievement right there. But again, there's like no satisfaction whatsoever. Now the multiplayer, I've heard nothing good from the multiplayer. I don't intend on touching the multiplayer. I have not played the multiplayer. I've played with bots here and there, but like beyond that, I haven't really done much. I've, tested around with some of the guns and messing around with bots. And honestly, if you're not running a submachine gun or an AR, from what I've understood from bots and from what I've heard from people, if you're not running a sub AR or a shotgun, you're basically, playing the game wrong. Which, I mean, I guess I kind of understand because, like, when I messed around with bots, all I would use was the MP40 and the STG. And, All I when I watched, people play the game, for the first time, all I've seen them use is the automaton, MP40, STG, combat shotgun, the Volk. Nobody was really using anything else other than those, really. So it's like, it kind of makes sense, you know. And snipers are also okay on certain maps too, I guess. I don't know. Again, my knowledge of the multiplayer is just so low. No, the zombies. Oh my God. I never thought you could just take Outbreak and water it down even more, and then I played the zombies mode. And honestly, comparing it to a watered down version of Outbreak is an insult to that watered down version of Outbreak I just created. Because it is so, so bad. Basically, you spawn in, and there's these teleporters, and you have to activate these portals, whatever you want to call them. You have to activate them, and you have to complete the objective to unlock different areas of the map. And after you've basically unlocked the entire map by I think it's like wave like 6 or 7, you unlock everything. There's just this one portal that stands there, and it's just a different objective every time, but it's the same exact portal. Um, I'm just gonna get all the negatives out of the way right now, so I can get to the positives. Which, spoiler alert, there isn't any. Um, for starters, the perk system's really bad. I mean, the perk system's just an absolute joke. Whoever at I almost said Treyarch. I mean, although I'm pretty sure Treyarch actually didn't they help with the zombies? Let me know in the comments if that's actually because I thought I heard something about that. But whoever's decision it was over at Activision or and the devs of the game decided that pack a punch should be 7,500 instead of 5,000. I hope you are no longer working there. I just wow. Wow. The fact that you made Pack-a-Punch 7,500 at tier 1, yeah, I hope you're not working there anymore. Um, Back onto the perks, none of the perks really feel good. You basically have to keep buying the perks instead of like in Cold War where you'd have to use this, sub currency in the game to um upgrade the perks outside of the game to make them better in game. That was kind of cool. You basically have that system, but you have to pay for them in game, and it only lasts for that game. And you have to do that with all the perks. It's just so, so bad. And there's this new perk called like Diabolic Damage or something like that, where it increases your critical damage. That's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's basically Deadshot Daiquiri, but it doesn't. You don't aim for the head. It's so dumb. All the other perks again, none of them feel satisfying at all, and they gave them all a bunch of these random dumb little names. I mean, like I don't get it. I don't get it. Just call it Juggernaut, Quick Revive, Speed, Cola, Stamina, and then just keep Diabolic Damage as Diabolic Damage or something. Or call it Deadshot Damage or Deadshot Dealer or something. I don't know. Like the names of the perks are just so stupid too. And there's supposedly there's a story to this whole zombies thing too. I couldn't fucking tell you what the zombies is. There's these gods, and there's this other god, and there's this guy named Von List, who's a German guy who's teamed up with this one god and these other gods, and this guy named Kraft. Uh, if there's a story to that zombies, tell me because I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you what the zombie storyline is. There's this one bitch that's really annoying when you do the runestone missions. I mean, I couldn't. There's just one god that basically like you could tell that he wants nothing to do with this shit, but he's only there because it benefits him, and he constantly insults humanity and insults you. He's the most passive aggressive dickhead I've ever seen. It's just the zombies is fucking terrible. The Altar of the Covenant idea, it's basically like a perk system where like you can buy like these different perks, or if you complete an objective, you get a heart, and then you basically can buy like different perks that do different cool things. All the alternate ammo types, yeah, those are not alter or part of the Altar of the Covenant or whatever the hell it's called. Um, which I think is I think it's so stupid. The pack punch system's a joke. Again, they made the first tier 7,500. That's like 7,500, 15,000, 30,000 instead of 5,000, 15,000, 30,000, or whatever it was in Cold War. Yeah, it's an absolute dumpster fire. Um, Everything about the zombies is just horrible. Oh, and all the maps you get like these big areas that you see on your mini map that are just like some of them like modes are just a small little thing. And like there's this one objective where it's basically onslaught mode from Cold War. It's basically onslaught mode, but you get this tiny ass map. Instead of, a big ass multiplayer map, you get this tiny little map. And like they brought back Shinonuma. It's like, yeah, Shinonuma, but you only get the starting hut. That's it. You get the starting room and the lower level of the starting room. That is it. It's pointless. The point system's an absolute joke. I hate the new point system in Zombies. Like was introduced in the Cold War, and now it's in here in Vanguard. I hate this point system because it makes the game a lot more difficult just to make the game a lot more difficult for no reason. Other than just, yeah, we innovated, we made the game a little bit more difficult, and it makes no sense to me whatsoever as to why they did that. Like just the original like damage based point system in Black Ops 4, that was also pretty horrible. Just bring back the regular damage system, the regular point system from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, World at War. Just bring back that point system. It made zombies actually fun and satisfying being able to get points. And like in the progression system just in this game mode is absolutely horrible too because you don't get very many points. I mean, every time I've played the game, I didn't get tier 2 pack-a-punch until like round 8 on just one weapon. And there's also like the mystery box that can contain different instead of having like levels, you can actually get pack-a-punch weapons from the box. Um and there's also like these little loot boxes that can sometimes carry pack-a-punch weapons, and they're almost always useless. Like you can get like the Itcher Burst at tier 1 or the Panzer Shrek at tier 1, and it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I will say though, I love how they brought some of the original weapon names from like the old like the MP40s called the Afterburner again. I really like that. Like that's really cool. Um, but again, just this is zombies is an absolute dumpster fire. I'd argue if I was to pick between the zombies and the campaign, I would play the campaign over the zombies because at least the campaign there was like some sense of accomplishment. I mean, granted, it's not much really accomplishment, but it was more like a relief than it was accomplishment. With zombies, you just sit there, you exfil, and you're just like, all right, yay, I exfilled. It's not even like relief. It's just you feel more pain because you just realize you just wasted all that time, you know. And everyone was saying that that this game mode was like really difficult and all this other stuff. I couldn't tell you if it was difficult or not because every time I played it, I made it to wave 10 or wave 11 or the next field. I couldn't tell you if the game was difficult or not. Now, just for the game overall, the fact that you need a consistent online access to play most of the game is a little ridiculous. The fact that I can't play zombies solo without having massive sudden lag spikes because I'm playing in a dedicated server, but I'm on solo. The fact that I can't pause my game, but I'm on solo is a little ridiculous. Now, with multiplayer, it's different. With multiplayer, you can just step into a local game and you can play alone with bots and just fine. But the second you step into online custom games, it's automatically a dedicated server. There's no host, automatic dedicated server. I find that a little ridiculous. I I understand it. Having a dedicated server is better than having a host. But like, if you're just looking to play solo, the fact that I have to go into a local game and start a LAN game, it's just at that point, just stop requiring online access for everything. Allow us to turn off dedicated servers. With Modern Warfare, you have the choice between a host and a dedicated server, you know? And you don't, there's pros and cons to dedicated servers. I'm not saying, dedicated servers are horrible. I think they're good and bad. They're good, because it keeps, the our way from the argument of, oh, who's going to host the game? Who's going to host the game? But at the same time, with dedicated servers, if, there's that always going to be that one player that has a horrible connection that can't connect to the dedicated server very well, and then they can't play, leaving them out of the entire game. And that's the biggest issue with Vanguard is that everything's hooked up to a dedicated server. There's not a lot of like local support, and honestly, it's not even just the thing with Vanguard. It's my biggest problem with gaming overall is that there's a lot of less and less and less and less online support lately, or online support, solo support rather, to the point where like the solo experience, the single player, the at home experience has basically been ripped away from gaming. It's all about online and competitiveness and yada yada yada. And like that's good. That's where a lot of the money is. But a good majority of the money is with the casual fan base, and a lot of the casual fans don't want to sit there and play online always. They always want to have something they can do on their own, solo, that doesn't require an internet connection. And there's always going to be that small group of people that has, an Xbox or PlayStation or I mean, not so much computer because it's a little bit more difficult with computer these days, but there's always going to be those console gamers out there that don't really have a good internet connection or even have an internet connection for that matter that just want to pop in the game and play the campaign. And there's not a lot of that support for story and all this other stuff and good gameplay in a campaign because most of the focus is put towards the online experience, the multiplayer, the battle pass, the customization and whatnot, and then all of that stuff is just trash anyways. So the whole game overall just ends up being trash. Again, that's just a gaming thing in general, but Vanguard suffers from it the biggest and right now especially, in the fact that COD esports right now is pretty much dying, and a lot of people are threatening to move to Halo, a series that hasn't had competitive relevance in years. I mean, you tell me, what's gonna survive in 5, 10 years down the line. I mean, granted, Infinite just came out. This always happens with a new game. The HCS rally, whatever it was called, had like 200, almost 300,000 something viewers at its peak. The CDL wishes it could have done that during the Modern Warfare and the Cold War season because the games are trash. And I always like to point, on some of my older videos, I like to point out that, oh, it's because of the franchising model and da da da. Another big reason is because the games are trash. Nobody wants to play a trash game. And if the players are refusing to play the game, then the fans aren't going to be as willing to watch. They're going to go to something else. They're not going to want to play the game. You see my point here? The players are like, I don't want to say free advertisement, but they're pretty much free advertisement for the game. And if those people that are basically getting paid to play the game say the game sucks and they don't want to play the game anymore and they just move to a different game and they make more money playing that game, well, everyone else is going to jump ship to that player, what that player is doing and play that game. You know? I mean, eventually, something's got to give. And Vanguard ain't it. And if Modern Warfare 2 or whatever the hell it's called doesn't do very good, I don't see COD succeeding. Like how it did, back in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 1, those days. Modern Warfare 2, I don't see COD ever succeeding at that level ever again if this new COD that's going to come out this year or whatever does any if that game tanks, I honestly I see COD going away for like a while. Like clearly this, a new COD every year cycle isn't working out. Clearly they need to change something. I mean, Vanguard was honestly just the last straw. People are leaving COD to go do some other stuff. I mean, even like big like zombies YouTubers and other COD YouTubers and whatnot are leaving COD to go play Halo or whatever game because they're not even interested in playing the games anymore. They're sick of it. They're fed up with it and they're going off and doing their own thing. And either their channels are dying because, people want them to, play zombies. They're not playing zombies anymore or play COD and they're not playing COD anymore. Or they're off thriving even more because they're got away from the game. And, from what I've seen for the most part, most of them are thriving because they're getting away from this awful game that is, Call of Duty Vanguard. The game is just it's so bad. One thing I will say that in terms of the positives with Vanguard, you know, there are some good things. It suffers from modern warfare syndrome, which is a good and a bad thing, being on the same engine. And what I mean by that is you don't expect anything from the game at all. So the game is just about what you expect. In terms of like power level of like certain things. Obviously, Modern Warfare 2019 we widely regard as one of the better CODs to come out recently. I'm not gonna say the best, but it's one of the better ones. Despite the fact that the game's unplayable now, thanks to Vanguard, which you thought I wasn't gonna bring that up in here. Yeah. I loved the hell out of Modern Warfare 2019. Now I can even load in the game because since Vanguard released, it's impossible to play anything on there. But a lot of the weapons in Vanguard are either really, really good or really, really bad. There's the Volk, the STG, the MP40, the PPSH. I guess you can throw the Sten in there. The Sten's not that bad. The bar. And then there's the AS-44, which I've heard a lot of people call the ASS because the gun is that bad. And I agree. The recoil on that gun, you could have as much recoil or control you want on that gun. The damage is really solid. That's about where all the plus sides are with that game. Which honestly, I think the AS-44 is like the perfect description of Vanguard. It has some good things about it, but literally everything else is bad about it, no matter how much you change. The secondaries in the game are, I mean, the top break, it's a revolver. Most revolvers in COD are, mid tier to very good. Yeah, I've never had a revolver in COD where I had to shoot the entire clip just to kill someone. Headshots, by the way. Never have I ever had that happen. Even in zombies, it's really bad. I'm pretty sure I'd have to look it up, but it's like one of the. I'm pretty sure it's like the weakest revolver in COD history. I mean, even the 357 or whatever it was in World at War, was a powerhouse. World at War, a game that wasn't very well known for a lot of its overpowered secondaries. I'm just saying. Just saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm shitting on the game a little too much. Probably not. I mean, the game is just not that good. It's really not that good. The multiplayer seems like it'd be pretty good, but I don't dare because, well, I just got this controller, not that long ago, and I'd like to keep this controller intact. And then, I won this controller. Shout out to the Los Angeles Girls, by the way, for that giveaway. I really appreciate y'all. Um, but yeah, I won that controller, and then I got that controller not that long ago. I just bought this laptop not that long ago, with this nice little mouse, and I'd like to keep all of that intact. So I'm not gonna play a game that's very rage-inducing like Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer because I've seen some shit happen to that game, and apparently it's even more unplayable now because there's all these like graphical glitches that keep happening in the game, and the game will crash if people use certain skins, and I don't know, guys. This game is it's just a dumpster fire. Do I think the game could get better at some point? Absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of games out there that have, started out horrible and got better overall over time. I mean, Black Ops 3. I used to shit on Black Ops 3 about how much I hated the damn game, and after maybe like a month or two, and DE released, and a lot of things got fixed, and the CUDA got nerfed, all that stuff. And I was really still pissed about the CUDA getting nerfed. But like the game actually changed for the better, and I got Black Ops 3 grew on me a little bit, and I started to really appreciate Black Ops 3. Granted, the Black Ops 3 campaign, was pretty bad. Yes, you're welcome. I got to remind you that Black Ops 3 had a campaign. I always forget, and now you have to remember with me. Um, but yeah, just with Vanguard, I don't see the game getting any. I don't see the game. I don't see Vanguard getting better until the game, its life cycle runs out. Like with Cold War, the game's life cycle was pretty much almost over, and the game got really like went from bad to worse over time. I feel like Vanguard, you can't get any lower than zero at this point. I mean, yeah, you can go in the negatives, but I think with Vanguard, you can't get any lower than zero. I mean, the expectations for this title were low, and people still just got disappointed. I had zero expectations for this game. I can't say I was disappointed. I was a little impressed with certain things, but I'm very disappointed, you know, with the fact that I wasted all that time on the game, but not so much with the game itself. I give Vanguard like a solid like 1 out of 10. I mean, again, there's some good stuff about it. I mean, again, the multiplayer is probably good if, I could actually play the multiplayer because, wireless, Wi-Fi gang. It's, you know, the fact that my Wi-Fi is, one floor down and in the other end of the house, kind of really can't, do much about that. So, if I could actually play the multiplayer, I'm sure the multiplayer wouldn't be that horrible. But again, also there's the fact that I'd like to keep all my electronics intact, for once in my life. I don't know. I don't know. Talking about this awful game is clearly making me tired. Game's bad in case, you didn't get that idea. But yeah, just if you want a good game, go play Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is pretty solid. You know, the multiplayer, that's full of fucking hackers now. Don't play the multiplayer. But campaign, zombies though. Black Ops 3 Zombies, fantastic. I think after, I go ahead and upload this, I might actually go play some DE or something. Go play. I'm not the biggest fan of Halo Infinite, but like, go play Halo Infinite or something. Like, play literally anything other than Vanguard. Play fucking. I don't know. Go play Sunset Overdrive. That game was pretty good. I heard. I never played it. My little brother owns it, but I never really saw interest in it. But I heard it was pretty good. I mean, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start listing games you can go ahead and play other than Vanguard. Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 is an okay game. Go ahead and play Crackdown 3. Don't play Vanguard. Go play if you want a good World War II shooter. Go play. I was gonna say World War II, but no, that's not even close. World War II is also pretty bad. Go play World at War. Go play World at War campaign. Go play World at War Zombies. That's the original World War. World War II. COD. Go. Fuck the other ones. All the other ones don't exist. World at War. Or actually, honestly, go play the other ones too. Go play the older CODs. Good, play the original to my generation. My generation, we grew up with World at War. That's the original in my book. Go play World at War. Go play MW2. It's not World War II, but very solid game. My point is this: play literally anything other than Vanguard. Don't waste your time like I did. I wasted 3 days of my life playing, you know, the zombies for like a day, the campaign for 2 days. Yeah, go. I'll play the Advanced Warfare campaign like 9 times over before I play Vanguard for another 30 minutes of my life. And I loved the Advanced Warfare campaign, but I know how a lot of people feel about Advanced Warfare. So that's why I brought up Advanced Warfare. Go play COD 4. You want to go play a good COD? Go play Black Ops 1. Play literally anything other than Vanguard. Please don't waste your time. Go get a hobby. Play Magic the Gathering or something like that, like me. Play, I don't know. Go play League of Legends. Go play Dota. Play Counter Strike. Literally do anything other than Vanguard, as long as it's legal, of course. As long as it's legal. And except Fortnite. Don't play Fortnite. Play Vanguard. Don't play Fortnite. But don't play Vanguard. Play Black Ops 3. I don't know where this. I really don't know where this is going from here. I'm just. I don't know. My final point is just we deserve better. Vanguard is not it. If this new COD that's going to be releasing way down in this November isn't any good, assuming it even releases in November, if it's not any good, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that everyone's gonna buy it. Everyone's gonna want to check it out, and then that's gonna tank, and then just go from there. And honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I think we should just. And again, I'm a small channel. I know I can't send much of a powerful message, but if we can just like not pre-order the game, like, impulse pre-order day one when we can, and just wait for the game to release, give it some time, let all the other poor suckers play the game first. I think once change sets in, that's when everyone goes in. Do I think change is going to come soon? No. It's probably going to be like probably not in my gaming lifetime, but probably in my little brother's. And I don't mean, one little brother. I'm talking about my baby brother. Probably come in his lifetime. That's how much faith I have in Call of Duty right now. Is that my baby brother is going to grow up to be my age and then see COD either completely collapse or actually get fixed. I'm pretty sure I'll be in my 40s, happily married, and not living in, this crappy state that I live in right now. And I don't mean the state of depression. Hey yo. Anyways, with that in mind, I'm out of here. I'm Shadowside, cringe extraordinaire. That's just what I've been declared recently in my, amongst my small friend group. So I'm the cringe extraordinaire, and I will see y'all. I don't fucking know. Probably soon because I'm probably gonna be doing, some other fun stuff. I'm planning on getting a capture card and actually trying to stream some stuff on my Xbox. I'm hoping to do like a Halo Reach kind of game night or like a Magic kind of game night soon. Um, so hopefully that will be the next time you see me or sometime in the near future. But until then, stay safe, and make sure your animals are spayed and neutered. I don't fucking know. This outro has gone on for too long. Goodbye.